Welcome to Network to Success course. Hi, my name is Seng Tat. So why do we network? Is it really because of the statement, your network is your net worth, that you want to increase your net worth? I don't think this is the only reason, right? Networking can be for personal reason or business reason. Okay, for personal reason, maybe you want to expand your network of friends. Maybe some can even want to find your life partners, right? For business, obviously is for your career or professional reasons, right? Maybe you want to do sales, maybe you want to start your business, or maybe you're looking for fund, you are looking for investors, right? It can be for many reasons why you are actually networking. So I myself, for my first business that I created for myself, I actually depends on my network to create the first event, and also I leverage on my network and really create my first business out of nothing. So for this course, I'm going to share with you my journey as well, and some of my example that I can actually share with you. But first, before we go any further, I would like you to examine your contact list. Now, list down your contacts, right, in such a way that I'm going to ask you on different segments. Right. First, list out how many people you have in this list. The first is your online social media. How many people do you have, or how many names can you list out for online social media that you have? You may have Facebook, Instagram, or any other social medias like LinkedIn, Twitter, all these different social media. In total, how many contacts can you list out? Among your friends, how many contacts can you list out? I just need the number, right? I don't want you to list out their names, but just give me the numbers, all right? So among your friends, how many contacts do you have in your list? Okay, so the next one will be within your business. It can be your client, it can be your principal, it can be your suppliers, it can be your competitors maybe, and it can be maybe your colleagues, right? Within your business or within your profession, how many contact lists do you have? All right. So those who work together with you in that business, in your professions, how many can you list out? And another one will be maybe if you've taken part in any of the volunteer association, it can be charity, it can be any of the other volunteer-based associations. So how many contacts do you have from there? Right, list it down. Right, give me numbers. And also your professional associations. How many contacts do you have there? Right, and any others. Okay, so total up, I believe you can easily have more than thousands of names. Am I right? Okay. Now, with the advancement of the technologies and availability of mobile phone and also various messaging apps, are you really closer to all these contacts, or actually you're having more distance with your own circle of friends and family? I believe it depends, right? So I've seen cases that with the availability of all these social media platform, messaging apps, yes, we do have a lot of circulated or forwarded messages, but it doesn't really create much connection there. Okay, so why am I saying so? Now let me ask you some other questions. Right, from all your contacts list, right, can you give me 10 names, your 10 top contacts that you have, which should not include your family members and your close friend, right? It can be purely your business associates or other contacts, all right? But the condition is they are not your close friend and not your family members. So from your list, can you give me 10 names? Write down 10 names now, okay? So 10 names, I want you to be able to answer the following questions. So, are you done with the 10 names? I believe in your mind, you can easily name up 10 names, all right? So, from that 10 people, would they meet you 3 o'clock in the morning on the roadside if you need help? Right, that's the first question. Right, how many of these 10 people would do this for you? Right. Second question is that how many of these 10 people would leave during the working hours to meet you and talk to you that's about something that you feel that is important? Okay, and the third question is that how many of these 10 people would lend you a month worth of salary if you ask them, say, hey, Mr. ABC, I actually need your help, right? Because maybe I lost my job or whatever reason it is, that I need you to lend me a month of salary, of your salary. So would they do this? 10 out of the 10 names, how many would do this for you, right? And how many of these 10 people would lend you their car if you ask? So say, oh, my car is actually, I just had an accident and I need the car for a few days. Can you lend me your car? So because my car is in the workshop, so while I am actually servicing your account and I need a car, so can you lend me your car? So how many of them will do this for you? And another one would be, how many of them would put their reputation at risk by referring you a client, right? So maybe it's their connection, maybe it's their friend, their families, that they will say, okay, this is a very good supplier of mine and I would actually highly recommend them for you. So how many of them would do this for you, all right? So in return, right, how many of these 10 people would you do the same for them? Would you meet them 3 o'clock in the morning at the roadside if they need you to, all right, and leave during your working hours to meet them and talk about something that they feel is important, all right, and also lend them a month of your salary or lend them your car or refer customers to them, right? Put your reputation at risk. If they cannot perform, that means your reputation is at stake, right? So now I want you to understand this. Why am I asking you the question, right? Networking is actually a two-way thing. It's a two-way traffic. It's not a one-way thing. It's like, oh, I only give and I'll never take. It has to be give and take, right? So the reason why I'm actually asking you this question is that I also want you to understand that there is a difference between contact and network. Okay, so contacts, you may have thousands of name cards that is actually in your box of collection of name cards, right? But then let me ask you this question: if you randomly pick one of the name card, can you actually remember them by just reading their name and their business name and their email? Would you be able to recognize or remember where have you met them? And if you call them, right? If you call them up, hi, Mr. So and so, can they actually remember you, right? This is what I call contact. Contact sometimes can be meaningless, and after you collected it, and if you do not create something out of it, it is just sitting there and doing nothing. All right. So networking is a two-way street, right? Networking is about generating connection, goodwill, and also mutual benefits. It's not about selling anything or collecting the name card only, right? Talking about selling anything, right? If any one of you here is like insurance agent, property agents, or even MLM, multi-level marketing leaders that you're trying to sell your products or recruit someone into your team during events. Now, mind you, you would not like people doing this to you as well. So ask yourself, would you do this, right? If you do not want people to do this, or you will allow because you would do the same, right? Let me tell you this, it simply doesn't work. Okay, so networking is not a game of numbers or a race. It's not how many people you can meet during an event, right? A business networking event or even a social event, right? It is about creating a connection that you can count on to be recommended to their connections. So it's really why we call it network is because it's like from one person you can access to many people behind it and even further, right? So that's why we call it connection of networks. So in this course, I'm going to share with you how you can make contacts from scratch, like from going to events, after events, and still after the events you will still make meaningful connection with these people that you have met, and also how you can actually turn them into long-lasting connections and build up the relationship. So remember one thing, you're building the connection and create a network for the future, not for now. Not that you want to sell something that, hey, I'm selling this, if you want my service or you need my products, please contact me. Chances are, if you're saying these statements, your cards normally will end up in the dustbin, okay? Believe me. Well, before I end this module, I would like to stress upon networking is an organized collection of your personal connection and their connection and so on. So it is not only collecting name cards. I would like to stress upon the important point here that networking is an organized collection of connection, all right, and your personal connection and their connection and so on, all right, and it is not about making contacts that is meaningless, but connection or network with a meaningful relationship.